Now, what I would like to do is give you a few tips on how you can really succeed with QR codes. Now, some of these you're going to look at and go, that's a bit obvious, but you'll be surprised how many people really don't think of these. And, these are going to help you not only sell QR codes, but to actually make money with them. So, it's very, very important, I think, that you pay attention and really think about these, because they are actually important and they're really going to help you succeed. Now, the first one, and perhaps the most blindingly obvious but often forgotten, is to make sure your landing page is mobile device friendly. It's no good you sending people to you, through your QR code to a website where it's not mobile friendly, looks a mess on their handheld device, it's hard to read. Because guess what? You've just wasted your time. Most of them aren't going to bother. They will only bother if it's quick and it's easy. That's the way people think. It really is. So you've got to make sure that the landing page is mobile device friendly. You should also test it on different platforms. And again, you may think, well, that's a bit obvious, but yes, it is. You need to make sure that you've tested it on like an iPhone, a Blackberry, something with Android operating system, just to make sure that it looks okay and works. Because the last thing you want is, for there to be a problem on, say, the iPhone platform, and 40% of your potential customers have iPhones. You've just lost 40% of your potential business, and it's really going to cause you a lot of problems. Make sure you keep the URL short. So if you are sending them to a deep page within a website and it's going to be a long URL, use the shortening service. If it's shorter, it reduces the chance of errors, plain and simple. There is a potential for errors within QR codes, so you have to make sure that the URL is short, because it just makes sure that there's not going to be an error. Just reduces the opportunities. Now, when you set up a QR code, there is a matrix option. If you try and keep it under 33 by 33, if it goes bigger than that, it does seem to cause some problems for some handheld devices. Not entirely sure why that is. I've not found anybody who's been able to tell me why, but it's just the way it is. There's a definite potential of issues once you go over 33 by 33. In most cases, you'll have no need to go bigger than that anyway, so it's not a problem. But make sure you keep your QR matrix sort of under that size. It's just going to make sure that it works and give you more of a chance of success. The smaller the matrix, then the lower the chance of failure. There's less to go wrong, if you like. There's less bits in the QR code that could potentially cause a problem. So smaller matrices, you'll find you succeed with a lot more. Now, one thing to do is, most of the QR codes you see are black and white. Very simple reason for that is the contrast. You have to have a high contrast between sort of the foreground and the background, if you like. Now, you can do QR codes in pretty much any colour you want, but you have to make sure you have that high contrast. As the contrast starts to get lower, you're going to find that more and more devices will have trouble reading the QR code. So a high contrast, like we see with black and white, is going to help to ensure more people can actually read the QR code. Now, there is an option as well for error correction when you're creating a QR code as well. That is worth switching on, simply because if a QR code gets dirty, or a little bit gets torn, or pages folded, or the picture's not quite clear, the error correction can really help to ensure that it's read and read properly. Without the error correction, you can find that the QR code reader will turn around and go, no, I can't read that, I don't know what it means, I can't see it, and you have a high rate of failure, which obviously renders your advert pretty much useless. So the error correction is going to help increase your sort of success rate with your advert. So basically it mitigates against poor or damaged pictures. But one of the perhaps biggest keys is to make sure that the content on the website they go to is valuable to the user. If you're sending them through to a website that's boring, irrelevant, dry, unentertaining, etc., etc., guess what? They're going to leave. Make sure the content is valuable and relevant to where they saw it. Yeah, if they saw the QR code next to an LED TV, make sure that the page it takes them to is about that TV. Don't send it off to, you know, a generic company website or something like that. Make it specific, make it valuable, make it important, and you have a higher success rate. You can do things like offering prizes, offering discounts and things like that. All of that will work, and work very, very well. It's very, very effective to have things like that, simply because, you know, people come through, people like a discount. Quite often a discount can make the difference between people going and not going somewhere. Quite literally. I'm sure you've done it as well. You think about going somewhere and then you decide not to. But if you have a discount code in your hand, you're more likely to go. Even if it's more expensive, or perhaps you don't really like it, you're likely to go because you've got a discount, and people like to get discounts. So, you know, use the QR codes to do that, because it's really going to help you. You just make sure that wherever you're sending them, it gives them what they want. They have found your advert or whatever it might be and found a QR code. So it's important that when they, you know, take a photo, scan it into their QR code reader, it takes them through to somewhere with something that's highly relevant. And we're talking 100% relevance here. Absolute relevance. Yeah, poor content is going to really waste the effort of a QR code. You're going to just lose out big time. You're going to find conversion rates are well down. You're not going to get what you want doing. So just get the high quality content there. But perhaps most importantly is for you to test it and to make sure that it works. You'll be surprised how many people won't test their own QR codes and then look surprised when it doesn't quite work as expected. Yeah, maybe you typed a URL in wrong, maybe the picture's just not good enough, it's hard to read, whatever it might be, I don't know. But test it, please, and make sure it works. Now, these few tips are just going to help you really maximize your success with QR codes and help you to really make some good money with them. There's a lot of money to be made with QR codes, I'll be perfectly honest with you. They're very powerful, very effective, and really, really in demand at the moment. And if you just follow these tips, it's going to help you to maximize your income from them.